But so they won't be as homogeneous in the future as they were in the past, or the near future as they were in the past?
That's certainly a true statement, and I think the other part of it is they will have a different way of looking at the issues. If you grew up with FDR, and if you grew up in the New Deal, there was an emotional bond created between the president and the American people. He used radio very well. He was reassuring at a time when the nation needed reassurance. To another generation, it's just going to be a group of policies that were started long ago, and they're not going to have that same impact. It will still lead to concerns on those issues, still lead to people expecting the benefits that they were promised, but it won't have the same political connotation.
But Medicare may be to some of the new seniors, as far as seeing its roots, what Social Security was to the older generation of seniors, I guess, in some ways.
That's a very good comparison. It will have some of that component, and there will be some of that same, I was there when it began type of thing. There is a slight difference, and I think it's a very important distinction to mention. When you talk about Social Security, you pay into the system during your working life, and you are given a check, each month upon your retirement. You get to spend that money as you see fit. It gives you a sense of independence and autonomy. Within the Medicare system, you don't have that flexibility. You are operating in a system of rules a little bit more, and it feels different.
Yes, being involved with both, I understand that difference. But nonetheless, you still feel like you were sort of there when it happened. And
correct.
And the other part of it is you feel like you've been paying for it.
And that's exactly right. It's very important to remember that Franklin Roosevelt, when he was selling Social Security, was especially careful to put the system in the context of American freedom. He knew that people would not support a dramatic expansion of a government program. He wanted people to have the confidence that they had paid into an insurance program and were getting a return on that investment. Medicare was modeled in much the same way.
Well, thank you for shedding so much light on so many of these complex and perplexing questions that we're dealing with today. I want to remind everyone that for more information, they can go to RasmussenReports.com and find out how they can subscribe and the details of that. In addition, before you leave us, Scott Rasmussen, I'd like to ask you to tell us a little about your book, Mad as Hell.
And the book is really dealing with the frustrations that have been building up among the American public for the last couple of decades. We focus on how the Tea Party movement has been reshaping two-party politics in America. An awful lot of people have come to the conclusion that the Tea Party, Tea Partiers are racist or bigoted or irrelevant. They put their own terms to it. Some say it's not really an organization, so you can discount it. And it's true that it's not really an organization, but there is a real grassroots frustration that has been developing. And it's not so much about a set of issues as about a belief that nobody in Washington is listening. And people are trying to yell louder so they can be heard. And Doug and I did a lot of polling, a lot of research, interviewed a lot of people involved with the Tea Party movement, and have put together an analysis of how this is going to have an impact on American politics in the next couple of decades.
And do you want to tell us how we can get a copy of your new book?
Yeah, Mad as Hell is available at Amazon.com, at Borders, or Barnes & Noble, or just about anywhere where fine books are sold.
Well, I'm sure people will want to go out there and pick it up. And one thing I found in a little bit of the preamble to that appeared in the Wall Street Journal was you talk about something about mainstream politics versus the political class. And rather than get into this today, I just want to tease the folks with that, because I think they will find that a very enlightening way to look at politics instead of party politics.
It is the key distinction in America today. The mainstream Americans are very unhappy with the political class, and until we can resolve that frustration, we're going to continue to have a polarized political system.
Well, thank you very much for a very enlightening interview, Scott Rasmussen.
Thank you.